जय गौर से कृष्णा से जगन्नाथ वासुदेव घोष बोले जगन्नाथ 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 हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा सुभद्रा माई जय सुदर्शना सुभद्रा माई जय गौरनिताय पतित पावन गौरनिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद श्रील प्रभुपाद जय प्रभुपाद जय श्रील प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय श्रील प्रभुपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल युग धर्म हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्रीमद् भगवद गीता श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय रथ यात्रा महामहोत्सव की निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे So I'm very happy to be amidst all of you today, welcoming all the devotees, bright, smiling devotees of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It is because of you only that Jagannath has come here today. It is because of all of you that this center exists. So we welcome all of you and we encourage all of you as much as possible. Dedicate your life to serve Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra. Dedicate your life to serve Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Dedicate your life to serve the devotees of Shri Shri Gandharvika, Girdhari and Sriman Mahaprabhu, and that is the purpose of life. So I'm very happy. All of you have taken out time from your schedules. You could have been anywhere else, doing anything else, but you have chosen to be here today. It is something extraordinary, and I congratulate all of you for being here. Hare Krishna. So today's discussion is the conclusion of our Vaishnava Etiquette seminar.
7175 car.
Before we start the discussion, there is a car called by the number 7175. Hare Krishna. That car didn't follow the car etiquette. Just like we have Vaishnava etiquette, there is something called as parking etiquette. Anyways. So the topic for today's discussion, which is the fifth part of today's discussion, is loving exchanges amongst devotees, which leads to cooperation amongst devotees. And then Vaishnava etiquette during Dham Yatra in the association of Vaishnavas or devotees. That's the topic for today. And then towards the later part, we will also discuss some glories of the Jagannath Rath Yatra, because today is Rath Yatra. So all of you have basically understood the fundamental of Vaishnava etiquette, how important it is in the life of a devotee, the Vaishnava etiquette. Can somebody tell me two benefits of following Vaishnava etiquette? Two benefits. You have to raise your hand and tell. You can say one, half, 1.5 or 2, whatever you have. Why we are studying Vaishnava etiquette? What is the benefit which we will get by doing Vaishnava, by performing this Vaishnava etiquette?
Selfless service.
Selfless service. Okay. Yes. If we follow Vaishnava etiquette, we will avoid offenses. It could be offenses against devotees, offenses against the services, offenses to the dham, etc., etc., etc. So we are not intelligent enough. We don't know how to behave. So there is a set of rules and regulations given to us. If we follow that, then we will automatically avoid offenses. How important it is to avoid offenses? What will be the problem if we commit offenses?
We will not be able to progress.
We will not be able to progress in bhakti. Okay. Any other? Let's see what others have to say. If we commit offenses, what will happen? Suppose I don't want to progress in bhakti. I want to remain at this level only. So I'll go on committing offenses. What will happen?
Hatred.
Sorry?
Hatred.
Hatred. Okay.
It would be hatred.
Okay. Any other issue? If you commit purpose of life will not be fulfilled. Okay. Is there any chance that if you do not follow Vaishnava etiquette, whatever wealth of devotional service you have, that also will be lost? Is there a chance?
It's getting degraded.
It is getting degraded. Any reference you have? Any praman you have? Have you experienced in your life that you did some offense and then after that you are not able to chant properly, not able to read Bhagavatam properly, not able to come to the center? Have you experienced?
At times, if we are not able to come to center for maybe a couple of weeks, then we do feel that
Only couple of weeks?
bhakti is getting degraded, and we are keeping lost in
Yes.
when the chanting doesn't happen.
But I will give you a counter argument. You are saying that yes, by doing Vaishnav or by committing offenses, we lose our bhakti. But in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Neha bhikramanasthosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Neha bhikramanasthosti. This wealth of devotional service is never destroyed whatsoever in any time, place or circumstance. There is nothing which you can do which will destroy whatever devotional service which you have already done or which you are doing. However, on the contrary, swalpam apyasya dharmasya, even if you do it little bit, knowingly, unknowingly, willingly, unwillingly, man se, beman se, trayate mahato bhayat. The greatest danger, what is the greatest danger in our life? Sorry? Falling into the lower species of life. That is the greatest danger, indeed. So anybody who is performing devotional service, at least a human form is guaranteed in next life, if not a spiritual form. So now you are saying by committing offenses we lose our bhakti, but here Krishna is saying, Jagannath is saying that bhakti is never destroyed. How to understand this? Are you able to understand my question? Bhakti is never destroyed. But you are saying by committing offenses, if we follow Vaishnava etiquette, we will not commit offenses. And if we don't follow, then we will commit offenses. How to understand this? We'll move away from the Lord. Okay.
Bhakti is still there.
Bhakti is still there.
Level of bhakti may not be that good.
Bhakti is still there, but the level of bhakti may not be.
Making you more closer to the Lord.
It may not make you feel that you are close to the Lord. Okay. Yes.
So our consciousness deteriorates over time if we are not following the Vaishnava etiquettes. And along with the verse that you just mentioned, Krishna also says that Antikale cha mameva smaran muktva kalena.
Yes.
So at that point in time, we should be mindful of having Krishna in our consciousness. And since we have not followed these etiquettes over a period of time, it's very difficult to remain in that consciousness during that.
But you agree that bhakti is never destroyed.
Maybe the spark is already there, always there, but it's contaminated by layers of.
That means it is destroyed. If you take a spark and if you put so many layers on it, that means where is the spark then? There is no spark.
Destruction, in my opinion, in my understanding, would mean that the spark does not exist anymore. Whereas
मतलब spark खत्म हो गया.
नहीं spark है, but उसके ऊपर अगर layers आ रहे हैं तो spark फिर भी है. तो उसको ignite करने की जरूरत है.
Wow. This is the power of the books of Srila Prabhupada. They can put even the speaker on the Vyasasana in bewilderment. So it's a fact that bhakti is never destroyed. But if we commit offenses, we are not able to access the fruits of our devotional service. It is something like frozen bank account. Suppose you have some X amount of Lakshmi in your bank account. Why do you have Lakshmi? So that you can use it, you can withdraw, and you can use it at your convenience. So when you have performed devotional service over a particular amount of time, you gain some devotional ecstasies, you gain some kind of reciprocation, you have some devotional feelings, you have some devotional relationships with devotees. in which you feel satisfaction and happiness. In that satisfaction and happiness, devotees encourage each other to give up sense gratification, and in this way you are feeling sublime happiness. Frozen bank account means you are not able to access. So when you commit offenses, the bhakti is still there, but it has been, you cannot access the results of that bhakti. So you will feel that, it's like, even if you have 100 crore rupees in your account, but if it is frozen, it's like having 0 rupees. So that is the result of offenses. When you commit offenses, you're not able to maintain good relationships, you're not able to maintain a good memory or good remembrance of Krishna, you're not able to maintain a service attitude towards Krishna. So therefore it is very important to avoid offenses. This is the first benefit of following Vaishnava etiquette. Any other benefit of following? I asked 2, you gave me 1 till now, give me another one. Why we should follow Vaishnava etiquette? One is avoidance of offenses, so that we don't lose our service attitude, devotional consciousness and remembrance of Krishna and relationships. What is the second benefit?
We get blessing and we can profit.
Yes.
Calm and satisfied.
To be satisfied, okay.
It makes us more humble and more respectful towards other devotees.
Makes you humble and more respectful towards other devotees, okay.
Disciplined in general.
Mataji's थोड़ा आंसर दीजिए.
Discipline in our life.
डिसिप्लिन आ जाएगा, ओके. Avoid setting a wrong precedence or a wrong example, okay.
When you please the Vaishnavas, Lord also gets pleased.
Lord also gets pleased, yes. The purpose of our life is to please the Lord, and that happens by pleasing the devotees and vice versa. How many of you feel, or how many of you want that Krishna and devotees should like you? Please raise your hand. And I really want that Krishna should like me. That means we have to become attractive in the eyes of Krishna. Now, how do you become attractive in the eyes of Krishna? Option A, by wearing a 24 karat gold diamond studded earring. Option B, by wearing a dress which is even more opulent than what Jagannath is wearing today, so that when you come in front of the altar like this, people look at you more and less at Jagannath. Option C, by becoming or doing something in which every devotee is praising you and falling at your feet. Or option D, being able to make very nice prasadam and pizza for the Lord. Which option should you take so that the Lord will become attracted to you? None of the above. Yes. Just like human beings become attractive by wearing nice kurta, nice jeans. Okay? Similarly, we become attractive in the eyes of the Lord by decorating ourselves with Vaishnav Sadachar, Vaishnav etiquette. Vaishnav etiquette requires tolerance and sacrifice. And always remember, those who are tolerant and those who sacrifice, Krishna always protects their interests and is always attracted towards them. So these are the 2 primary benefits of Vaishnava etiquette. Number 1, we will avoid offenses and we will be able to think of Krishna always, have good relationships with the devotees of Krishna. And number 2, we will become attractive in the eyes of Krishna. So in this regard, today's discussion is also of great value. Loving exchanges amongst Vaishnavas. Very recently, I was in Sri Guru Ayurappan temple. So I was just trying to read about the devotees who have served there. I read about 2 devotees. Sorry? Somebody said? Okay. I read about 2 devotees. One's name was Narayan Bhattadri, who has written the very beautiful nectarian condensed nectar called as Narayaniyam. And another devotee is Puntanam. When we will go to the Kerala Yatra very soon, we will discuss more about them. But Narayan Bhattadri was a very, very great scholar. And Puntanam was a humble man. Not very accomplished scholar, but had great devotion for the Lord. So he also used to write few things. One day Puntanam came and he showed his poem or commentary to Narayan Bhattadri. Now, Narayan Bhattadri said that this is so bad that it is not worth my time reading also. And it was the fact also. But he forgot one etiquette. When it comes to devotional literature, even if it has hundreds of faults, honest and sincere men will always appreciate and relish it. If you read the preface of Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada also expresses his humility, saying that English is not my first language, but I'm trying to present it, and it may have several shortcomings, but I hope the honest and sincere men will ignore all these shortcomings and focus on the genuine presentation of Krishna consciousness. So this is an etiquette. So therefore that day in the dream of Narayan Bhattadri, Lord Krishna comes and he just scolds him. And he tells that you made fun of my devotee, Narayan Puntanu. You know what? I am more happy with his devotion than yours. So Narayan Bhattadri, the Acharya, whose deity is made outside the Guruvayur temple, he goes and begs forgiveness from Puntanu. So this is called as Vaishnava etiquette. And now in association of Vaishnavas, if you do not have loving exchanges, then it's going to be a serious problem. Our entire Vedic literature, Puranas and basically the Puranas, where we get a lot of katha about the Lord, is full of instances where how when someone does not have a loving exchange in the association of devotees, that devotee is actually going to be not being able to receive the mercy of the Lord. So today's discussion is how to have loving exchange amongst the association of devotees. In order to have loving exchange, one primary thought process should be there prevalent in the mind. That primary thought process should be, I need the mercy of all devotees around me. One should not think that I need the mercy of only my superiors. I need the mercy of Prabhupada, that is enough. Vande Guru. No other Guru. So, not like that. You cannot just bask in the mercy of your seniors. You need mercy of your juniors also. You need mercy of your peers also. You need mercy of your superiors also. Until unless we have this thought process, there is no serious urge to have loving association. Sometimes we feel, when we commit offenses, we feel, here is a senior devotee. I cannot offend him. He is a Gita course devotee. इसको भगाएंगे यहाँ से. I will offend him. होता है ना ऐसा. We feel that this devotee is very senior and this devotee is very junior. Him I can not afford to offend, but him I can play with. This is the serious thought process. This is a very serious problem in our thought process. Forget about devotees, even non-devotees. Sometimes we meet a non-devotee and we say, hey, you idiot, you are not chanting Hare Krishna on the day of Jagannath Rath Yatra. You don't deserve my respect only. So remember the case of Dhruv Maharaj. Dhruv Maharaj was offended by his stepmother called Suruchi when he was not a devotee. Later on, after so many years, or rather not so many years, after some time, when he became a devotee, the offense which Suruchi did against Dhruva when he was not a devotee, when Dhruva became a devotee, Suruchi had to pay for that. She had to suffer for that. She had to die for that. So today you are offending this person who is not a devotee. But after 2 years, let's say he becomes a devotee. Who is the loser? We are the losers. So therefore, there is no such thing as I will not offend this devotee, but I will offend that non-devotee. No. Along with Vaishnava Aparad, Seva Aparad, Dham Aparad, there is something called as Jiva Aparad also. Again, I'll remind you of the case study of Bharata, the 3 lifetimes of Bharata. In the 3rd lifetime, after being a deer, when he became a Jada Bharata, simpleton Bharata, Mandabuddhi Bharata, that time he was very afraid to stamp on the ants also, or create any disturbance or some kind of aggression towards the ants also. Now he was afraid. Why? Because even if someone offends the ants, that is an obstacle on the path back home, back to Godhead. So keeping that in mind, we should always understand that we need the mercy of all devotees around us. Never we should begin any endeavor without taking their blessings. One should not see who is advanced, who is not advanced. One should not, one should not try to assess and scan the soul of everybody. Arey, he is a 16 rounder, he is an 8 rounder, he is a 4 rounder, 1 rounder. Come tomorrow, I don't have time for you. Not like that. We have to be very, very serious. Another example, case study. Today I will present many case studies so that we can understand the principles. Nityananda Prabhu in the Chidadahi pastime, Danda Mahotsav, has kept his feet on the head of Raghunath Das Goswami. And he has ordered him to distribute Chidadahi to everybody. And after that again he has kept his feet next day and he has told him that very soon you will attain the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now if Nityananda Prabhu, God himself, Balram, is blessing you, is there any doubt that you will get that? Suppose he blesses you, some benediction. Is there any doubt that you will not get it? But then after Nityananda Prabhu blesses him, he tells, go and take blessings of other devotees. Why does he do it? Once you receive the mercy of Lord Krishna, why you need the blessings of any other devotee? What is the thought process behind this? The thought process is the mercy of the Lord will act upon us only when we have a loving exchange with other devotees. Counter case study. The case study of Chitraketu Maharaj. He got the benediction from Sankarshana. Now Lord Shiva meditates on Sankarshana all the time. And because Sankarshana has the form of a great serpent, he also puts serpent around his body everywhere and tries to meditate on him. Now Chitraketu has got a benediction from Sankarshana that very soon you will attain me. But here is a devotee of Sankarshana, Lord Shiva. And Chitraketu Maharaj, both are devotees of Sankarshana. He accidentally, unknowingly, unintentionally made some fun of him. And one devotee called Parvati, she got offended. How can you say like that about my husband? So therefore some cursing and all had happened. So the point which I am trying to say, if we want to attain the lotus feet of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without any obstacle, without any delay, even if we have been blessed by Nityananda Prabhu, it is necessary that we should get the best wishes and blessings of all the devotees. Even if there is one person in this entire universe who has a grudge against us, which is justifiable, we cannot go back home, back to God. So therefore, having loving exchanges amongst devotees is of utter importance. Now, how do you do this? How do you have loving exchanges amongst devotees? Should we just exchange each other's bank accounts and transfer 10 lakh to each other? A very loving exchange. I love you, 10 lakhs. How do we have loving exchanges with devotees? The answer to this question is very nicely given in a book called Upadeshamrita, Nectar of Instruction. One day Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after having his afternoon bath in the ocean, he came and he sat down at the beach. Along with him were Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami, Swarup Damodar, Ramanand Rai and others. And at that time, Lord Chaitanya knowing that Rupa Goswami is such a sincere servant, he started speaking to him. And at that time, very confidentially, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave some instructions to Rupa Goswami. And those instructions, later on Rupa Goswami wrote it down in the form of Nectar of Instruction, Upadeshamrita. And one of the instructions there is Dadati pratigranati guhyam akhyati prachati bhungte bhojayate chaiva shadvidhi priti lakshanam. What are the priti lakshanam? What are the symptoms of love which devotees can have amongst each other? It is mentioned in the Nectar of Instruction. Dadati pratigranati. Offering gifts in charity and accepting charitable gifts. How many symptoms are these? Giving gifts, taking gifts. Revealing one's mind in confidence and inquiring confidentially. Another 2. Totally 4. Accepting prasad and offering prasad. These are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee to another. So what are the, we understood the importance of Vaishnava etiquette. We understood the importance of having loving exchanges. Now we are discussing how to have these loving exchanges. What are the 6 ways in which we can love the devotees around us? Who can tell me? Raise your hand and tell me one. Yes? Tell me in the normal, speak in sadhu bhasha, which is easily understandable, not pandit bhasha.
Discuss confidential.
To discuss, to reveal your mind in confidence. Okay, number 1.
And offering prasad.
This is very easy. Offering prasad.
Giving and receiving gifts.
What about accepting prasad? So offering prasad, accepting prasad. Next, giving gifts, receiving gifts, and revealing your mind in confidence and inquiring confidentially. Sometimes devotees are very happy to give gifts, but they don't want to take gifts. It is against the Ishvara bhav. I only want to give. That is wrong. We should give gift and then we should accept also. Not that only I will accept, never give. That is also wrong. Similarly, distributing prasadam is great mercy. Accepting also should be there. Inquiring the mind, inquiring confidentially. You have to inquire, in a confidential way, and then reveal your mind confidentially. Now, this should be done amongst devotees only. You can't do it with your office colleagues. I revealed my mind to him. So just to have some loving exchange, that will not help you. Always remember, you have to associate with devotees and interact with non-devotees. Interaction means you should never reveal your mind to them. You should never inquire confidentially. You can give them Krishna conscious gifts, but no need to receive Maya conscious gifts from them. Similarly, you can give them prasad, but no need to take their food. So in this way, you have to interact. Never try to enjoy your conversations or dealings with non-devotees. If you have started enjoying it and relishing it, wow, what a wonderful meeting I had. People from all over the world were there and we had a loving exchange. Now that will cause problems to you. A Vaishnava, what is the symptom of a Vaishnava? Asat Sang Tyag Ei Vaishnavachar. Those who are not the devotees of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, ultimately we should not relish their association. And ultimately, as much as possible, we should avoid that association. If we are not serious in bhakti, then do whatever you want. So very nicely, Srila Prabhupada explains this principle of loving exchanges in his purport. I will recommend you please go home and read this purport today also. He says, giving charity to the devotees, accepting from the devotees whatever they may offer in return, revealing one's mind to the devotees and inquiring from them about the confidential service of the Lord. Inquiring confidentially doesn't mean that, tell me about yourself, what you did last Sunday. I know. Not like that. Inquiring confidentially means inquiring about the confidential services of the Lord. Srila Prabhupada says, an experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee learns from him. This is Guhyam Akhyati Prachati. An experienced devotee explains and an inexperienced devotee who does not know about how to serve the Lord, they listen. That is inquiring confidentially and revealing your mind in confidence. That's all. Don't try to add some other meaning to it. And of course, honoring prasada given by the devotees and feeding the devotees with prasada. When a devotee distributes prasad, the remnants of this food offered to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, in order to maintain our spirit of devotional service, we must accept this prasad as Lord's grace received through His pure devotees. You cannot say that I don't want, or you can say that I'm not hungry, give me a little bit. But in order to maintain your devotional mood, you should always accept prasad. This is another case study I'll present. Today only case studies, principal case study like that. Because this is the way Jesus Christ used to preach. He knew that if I only speak principles, people will not understand. So, in ISKCON we regard Jesus Christ as Guru. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after hearing the 7 days of Mayavad from Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya thought this is a young sannyasi. First of all, he has made a mistake by accepting sannyas. And that too, he has taken sannyas in Bharati Sampradaya. It's a low grade Sampradaya. I want to upgrade him. Just like you have software upgrade, phone upgrade. So Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya thought, I will upgrade him into a higher level of sannyas. So I will teach him the Vedanta Sutras. So for 7 days, Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya used to give tuition classes to all the other sannyasis of India. He spoke and spoke and spoke, and Lord Chaitanya used to come every day. Can you imagine what must be going in the mind of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when he is going through this 7 days of crash course of Mayavad? What he would be thinking? He would be just thinking how to deliver Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya. And he went to the extent of hearing Mayavad for 7 days just to deliver him. And once he delivered him, once Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya was made into a devotee, he was a top class Brahmana, and Brahmins don't touch any food item without having bath and performing their Brahmanical duties early in the morning. They have a procedure. They get up on time. There is a Sanskrit there is an injunction also, which says that those who eat anything without having bath in the morning, it is equivalent to eating stool. Now, in the house of that Brahmana, who was the head priest of Jagannath temple, early in the morning, after attending Mangalarti, Mahaprabhu takes little Jagannath Prasad and goes to the house of Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya and knocks. And Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya has not yet started his day. But as soon as he opens the door, and as soon as he sees Jagannath Prasad is there, without having bath, chanting the name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, he accepted that Jagannath Prasad. Little bit he put in his mouth and he offered his obeisances to Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so pleased. So the point which I am trying to say, that in any circumstance, whenever prasad comes, to maintain your devotional attitude, we should accept it. And then we should invite other devotees also to our house and regularly feed them with prasadam. Why we should do this? Just to show off my cooking skills. Look at me, I am Master Chef Kanamangla. I am Master Chef Hoskote. Just to show? No. We have to invite devotees in our house and serve them so that we can get their best wishes, their mercy, their prayers. If they are senior to us, we will get enlightened by associating with them. Sometimes devotees misunderstand this. What is the meaning of a loving exchange? They misunderstand. They think that they will invite devotees in their house to socialize with them. You do not invite especially senior devotees to your house to socialize with them. It is not a socializing session. आप कैसे हैं, मैं कैसा हूँ, और बताइए weather कैसा होगा, बारिश आपके गांव में. No. And I have seen this many times. I have seen my seniors pointing it out, and sometimes I have also seen, unfortunately, where devotees do not understand the meaning of association. Association means matchitta, madgata, prana, bodhayanta, parasparam, kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. The only thing which should be done in the association of advanced devotees is exchange of Krishna Katha, Krishna consciousness. My dear Prabhu, my dear Mataji, you are experiencing Krishna consciousness in such a nice way. Please tell me something so that I can also become sincere and I can also experience Krishna. This is called association. Not that I have brought you to show you my house and I have brought you to show you my car and see my new. So we have to invite devotees regularly in our house to get their mercy, to get their prayers, to get their best wishes. Not just to seniors or advanced devotees, we have to invite our juniors also. We have to invite our peers also. This is very, very important. This is called Bhungte Bhojayate Chaiva. Srila Prabhupada says in that purport, I am discussing loving exchanges. Srila Prabhupada says, the International Society of Krishna Consciousness has been established to facilitate these 6 kinds of loving exchanges between the devotees. So only to do these 6 things only. Give Krishna conscious gifts, accept Krishna conscious gifts, give prasad, take prasad, inquire confidentially and reveal your mind in confidence. Only to do these 6 things only ISKCON has been established. Of course there are other purposes of ISKCON also. But Prabhupada says for doing this we have established. Prabhupada is saying this society was started single-handedly. But because people are coming forward and dealing with the give and take policy, without give and take, nothing can expand. People are taking part in this give and take policy. The society is now expanding all over the world. We are glad that people are donating very liberally to the development of the temple's activities. And people are also eagerly accepting whatever humble contribution we are giving them. What is the humble contribution of ISKCON? Prabhupada says, we are giving them in the shape of books and magazines dealing strictly with the subject matter of Krishna. We also sometimes hold Hare Krishna festivals and invite members and friends to participate in the feasting by accepting prasad. Although most of our members are coming from the higher rungs of the society, they nonetheless come and take whatever little humble prasad we are able to offer. So this is the give and take. Without this give and take, it is impossible to spread Krishna consciousness. So this is how we love each other, and this is how we love this society also. We have to give them Krishna conscious literature. We have to give them prasadam. And whatever contribution they can make, we have to accept as sadhus. In fact, the devotees or the audience or the society should also think that we have to accept, we should not demand. Sometimes in ISKCON very opulent prasadam is made and sometimes very humble prasadam is made. So I remember I used to go for Food for Life regularly. Whatever prasadam is left I used to distribute. So one week was full of festivals. So every day I was distributing puri, sabzi, pulao, this. One day I went out with khichdi. People outside, they got offended. They were like, where is the puri? I will not take this khichdi. So sometimes people get accustomed. Ki aaj dahi vada nahi diya? What is this? And you will not believe the person who I was talking to was a beggar. It's like from last 6 days you are giving kachori, puri, dahi vada, gulab jamun. Why you are giving khichdi today? I will not take. So this should not be the attitude of the society. Society should accept whatever offering we are able to make in the form of books and prasadam, and they should help Srila Prabhupada in his mission by propagating it. Now question comes, how should I do this with those, there is a section of the society called as the Mayavadis. There is another very nice section, a very interesting section of the society called atheists. How to deal with them? Should we do these loving exchanges with them? Prabhupada warns us. He says, Mayavadis and other atheists do not want the Krishna consciousness movement to develop because it educates them in God consciousness. There is no benefit feeding a snake milk and bananas because the snake will never be satisfied. On the contrary, by taking the milk and the bananas, the snake simply becomes more poisonous. For a similar reason, we should not disclose or reveal our mind to the Mayavadis and even the Karmis. Such disclosures will never help. It is best to avoid their association and never ask them anything confidential or ask them for any good advice. Nor we should extend invitations to Mayavadis and atheists, nor accept their invitations. For by such intimate intermingling, we may become affected by their atheistic mentality. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Sangat sanjayate kamat. Whatever sangha you do, that affects you. So therefore, now we are living in a world where devotees, even devotees don't have time, They have a very, very busy schedule. It is a sad situation today that almost all the dealings which we devotees also have amongst each other has become very impersonalistic. It is not personal. Sometimes when we have to send some prasad, we just book a dunzo. If we have to send some Bhagavatam, just courier se bhej do. Going back to Godhead is not so easy. We need to show in our dealings that how personal Krishna is. Whenever we expect any reciprocation from Krishna or Jagannath, we accept it personally, right? We hope that Krishna will, come to us, talk to us. We will have some Krishna anubhuti. We'll have some experience of Krishna. It's a personal dealing. It's a personal give and take. So similarly, we as devotees also should have personal dealings. We should take out time to visit the house of the devotees. We should go and personally give prasadam. We should personally accept prasadam. Prabhuji, I'm sorry I can't come to your house today. Can you dunzo? You had invited me today. But can you please porter me that prasadam? I want to eat. But you porter it to me. This thing will not work. If we want to progress, we have to take out time. We spend most of our time with laptop. Have you heard that laptops are there in Golok Vrindavan? We need to spend more time with devotees. We need to spend more time with the cows. That is what is the eternal occupation of the people in Golok Vrindavan. Unless and until you practice it here, how will you do it? In a moment you will attain perfection. So therefore, now sometimes devotees may say that, in Bangalore traffic is too much. It's really not possible to travel. Prabhu, you are being too idealistic. If you tell me, I am a resident of, let's say, Hoskote, and if you tell me to come to Marathalli, it is like doing Char Dham Yatra. I will not come, Prabhuji. Then in such a situation, what we should do? Okay, we have to practice Krishna consciousness according to time, place and circumstance, we understand. And if we are really not able to take out personal time to have personal dealings with the devotees, then the best thing which we can do is to become sincere and serious Krishna conscious devotees. If I am not able to contribute to the life of some devotee by being there for him or her, if I am not able to have any loving exchanges, at least I should not waste my time. At least I should not engage in criticism and diplomacy. At least I should stop finding faults. And at least I should engage in sincere devotional service. If I become a sincere devotee and if I experience some stability in my practice of Krishna consciousness, then maybe in future I'll be able to add some value. So this we should keep in mind. This is just a practical tip. Because in Bangalore, devotees are saying we don't have time, we don't have time. One day devotees will say we don't have time to chant also. That should not work. That should not happen. Another case study. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya once invited Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house in Jagannath Puri to serve him. He and his wife alone, they made more than 60 items to serve him. Old man, old wife. Cooked 60 items for Mahaprabhu to feed him. Now there is this son-in-law of Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, whose name is Amogha. He is a criticizer of Lord Chaitanya. He is critic. He doesn't like Sri Krishna Chaitanya. He is envious. So Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya knew that if he comes, he will criticize. So he was standing on the door, and I will not let him come in. But in the verge of serving, or in the urge to serve Mahaprabhu, for 2 minutes he just left the door. Thoda sa rice or le lijiye, thoda le lijiye. Utne hi der mein he came, Amogha. And the first thing which he came and commented, just see, he is a sannyasi and he is eating so much. Jivera lalasa iti uti dhai, Krishnodar parayan Krishna nahi paye. This kind of comment he said. And Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Jagannath, when he heard it, he started laughing. And Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, at that time, he took up a stick and he chased his son-in-law and he threw the stick. Chaitanya Charitamrita doesn't say whether the stick hit him or not. But he cursed him. He said that, may you die, may my daughter become a widow. I don't want you in my family. And the mother also has started cursing. She has started beating her chest that, may my son-in-law die. That is the love they have for Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anybody who is against Mahaprabhu cannot be a well-wisher. We have to see how much, sometimes we say, oh, I am such a nice person. We have to, in our own heart, analyze how much envious we are against and towards the other devotees of Mahaprabhu. Secretly, if we have some envy or some jealousy, then we are not Gaura Bhaktas. We are Gaura Vimukh. We have turned our face away from Krishna. So Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya set an example that even if somebody makes one single comment against Mahaprabhu, he is not a part of my family. As a result of this offense, now Mahaprabhu is saying, what is wrong? He said, right only. Sannyasi should not eat so much, and you are serving me so much. I am supposed to set an example. Then Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya said, Mahaprabhu, in the Jagannath temple, you are eating 56 times a day. In your 16,108 palaces, 3 times a day you are eating. In every house of each brother of Nand Maharaj, 4 times a day you are eating. Please don't act smart. Please eat. So Mahaprabhu becomes helpless in front of his devotees and does things which are not prescribed by the sannyas order. Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya and Raghav Pandit, they can make Mahaprabhu dance like a doll. That much love they have. Have you ever heard a sannyasi eating pan? Mahaprabhu has done a pastime by which he has set an example. A betel nut was offered to Krishna, and that betel nut was offered to Mahaprabhu. After eating it, he fainted. Just to show everybody that Gaudiya Vaishnavas are not supposed to eat pan. Even if it is offered to Jagannath, we should not eat, we should feed it to the cows. So, this Leela Mahaprabhu did when he was a Grihastha. After taking sannyas, Raghav Pandit and Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, they offer pan. And Mahaprabhu is helpless. He is supposed to eat. And after eating, he says, now that I have broken all rules and regulations, are you happy? They said, Mahaprabhu, you should rest now. They'll apply sandalwood paste, they'll put garland, they'll massage the leg. That much love they have. But as a result of this serious offense, Amogha fell sick. He became infected with cholera. And he was about to die. I'm speaking about the importance of having loving exchanges in a personal way. Now, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. By the movement of his eyebrow, he can change anything and everything. But when he came to know 2 things. That in the house of Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya, because this offense happened, so Sarvabhaum Bhattacharya and his wife, they took a vow of fasting till death. That in my house I invited Mahaprabhu and he got offended, so I'll fast till death. And another thing which he came to know, that Amogha, that person who had offended, he has fallen sick with cholera and about to quit his body. Mahaprabhu, whatever he was doing, he stopped. And he personally ran towards the house of Amogha. And he kept his hand on the chest of Amogha. And he said that a Brahmana's heart should be free of enviousness, so that Krishna can reside there. Why have you allowed enviousness and jealousy to reside there? This much only he said. And after that Mahaprabhu said, why don't you get up and chant Hare Krishna? So the cholera was gone in 1 second. And he got up and he started slapping himself, cursing himself. And in ecstasy he started chanting Hare Krishna. And after that Mahaprabhu personally took out all the time and went to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya is telling, why did you do this miracle on the body of Amogha? You should have let him die because he has offended you. Mahaprabhu said, because Amogha is connected to you, therefore never I can take any offense against him. Why I have brought out this point to realize that if we have loving exchanges with devotees, some devotee will feel, that I have a connection with this devotee. And if that devotee is dear to Krishna, we may be saved. So by having loving exchanges in a personal way, that is the best insurance of our Krishna consciousness. I repeat, by having personal loving exchanges, not dunzo loving exchanges and porter loving exchanges. By having personal loving exchanges, dadati pratigranati guhyam akhyati prachyati bhungte bhojayate chaiva. Some devotee will feel that he belongs to my heart. He or she is my friend, like that. Even if some devotee who is pure in his bhakti feels even once that this is my friend, that's all. That is our insurance in Krishna consciousness. Okay? So are you all convinced that you should have 6 loving exchanges in the association of devotees? Yes or no? Are you all convinced that you should take out time and do it in a personal way? How many of you, when you are quitting your body, would like to have some devotees around you chanting Hare Krishna? What if a devotee says that, I'm just sending a porter, this Maha garland from my Jagannath deities, ये porter से भेज रहा हूँ, you please wear it and be happy. I can't come because I'm in Hoskote and you are in Marthalli. Personal loving exchanges is the heart and soul of Krishna consciousness. If we do not have this personal loving exchanges, which takes time, which takes priority, then Maya will suck our blood. You know the meaning of the blood being sucked? Literally that will happen. And you know how Maya sucks blood? Maya sucks blood through sex life. So if we don't have time to have personal loving exchanges with devotees, we will be dragged down to the lowest and the most degraded form of illusion. So let's save ourselves. And then the next aspect which I want to discuss is cooperation amongst devotees. Now I don't need to give a lecture on that. And I don't need to, having discussed the importance of the 6 loving exchanges in a personal way, it is important that you cooperate. It is very easy to do kirtan, but it is very difficult to do sankirtan. And ours is a sankirtan movement. You know what sankirtan means? Sankirtan means that because I love Prabhupada, because I love Krishna, I am going to compromise all personal agenda and all personal opinions so that I can serve Krishna. Cooperation does not mean that I will not have differences of opinion. No. Every individual has their own flavor of service to Krishna, and every individual wants to serve Krishna in their own unique flavor. There is bound to have personal difference of opinions. The problem starts when we identify ourselves with our opinion and let the ego come between our relationships. And that kills everything. That kills the loving exchanges also. That kills the personal aspect also. Makes us impersonal. Breaks the togetherness. Again, another case study. The Prachetas, having meditated for 10,000 years underwater near Kailash, after listening to the Rudra Gita from Lord Shiva himself, chanting the holy names of Krishna, When Krishna personally comes in front of them, he does not appreciate that you people have done 10,000 years of tapasya. He does not appreciate that you did it underwater. He appreciates that for 10,000 years, you 10 brothers, the Prachetas, you stayed together and you engaged in the chanting of Hare Krishna by helping each other. This is what I like. Krishna has set a very clear example. You can become very austere, you can chant 64 rounds a day, you can chant, you can bring crores of donation, you can do whatever seva you want. But if you cannot cooperate with devotees, then that is of little value. Sometimes no value. The whole reason why we are existing in the association of devotees is to get rid of our false ego. We are all like unpolished diamonds, and we have been put in a sack which is full of other unpolished diamonds. When the sack moves, the diamonds rub against each other. If the diamonds start feeling that the rubbing is too much, let me go out of this sack, symbolically speaking, let me go out of ISKCON, then the diamond will remain unpolished. But somehow if the diamonds are just, why am I saying diamonds? Because each and every one of us are part and parcels of Krishna, the supreme diamond. So if we somehow stay in ISKCON, make some sacrifices, make some experience cooperation by tolerating, then we will all come out as polished diamonds at the end of our life, provided we are chanting Hare Krishna and following 4 regulative principles. And trust me, this is the biggest advancement. Suppose you are traveling in a flight and the person next to you is smelling very bad. Not had bath from 10 days and came and sat next to you. What will you do? Will you blame the airlines for that? Will you jump out of the plane? I can't tolerate, let me jump out. What will you do? Somehow you will try to adjust and be in the plane. That's what we have to do. Sankirtan movement means never leave ISKCON, never leave the movement of Lord Chaitanya despite all personal inconveniences. And that requires cooperation. Trust me, it is very easy to start your own agenda. I don't like my temple president, I don't like my zonal secretary, I don't like my Bhakti Rickshaw leader, I don't like this, I don't like that. I'll start my own thing. It is very easy, but advancement will not happen. But if you can just kindly compromise your personal opinion, discuss your personal opinions in a Vaishnava way, speaking like a Vaishnava, and then whatever decision the group takes, adhere yourself to it, align yourself by it. And in that mood, when you come and offer obeisances to Prabhupada, you will really feel the mercy of Prabhupada. So therefore, those who cooperate, they shine. Why to cooperate? For the love of Krishna, for the love of Prabhupada. Always remember, there are 50 crore reasons to not cooperate. And out of those 50 crore may be bona fide also. Valid reasons. But there is only one reason to cooperate. Because Prabhupada wants it. I am an expert at a particular service. Krishna will be pleased only when this service is done according to the way I want it to be done. And I have been doing this service from the last 10 years. Who can tell me anything? I have had personal sakshatkar of Krishna. And he has told me, I like your seva. Prabhu, how you can say this? Other devotees are praising me. That means Krishna likes me. So therefore, the entire service has to be done according to my desire. No, this will not work. Any time, any devotee can come and propose something. Maybe that is what Krishna wants. Accept it, explore it. Try to work with it. And sometimes Krishna will put us in embarrassing situations. So we have to cooperate for the love of Krishna, for the love of Prabhupada. Sometimes the water goes above the head also. We really don't understand why a particular person is reacting in a particular way. This just doesn't happen with us, this happens with everybody. We all have gone through it. But in those circumstances also, because Prabhupada wants us to stay together, despite differences, despite difference of opinions, staying together is called cooperation. And that is love. प्रगाढ़ प्रेमेरा ए स्वभावे आचार निज दुख विघ्न आदि न करे विचार. If my love for Krishna and Prabhupada and ISKCON is intense, nij dukh vignadi, whatever shortcomings I am experiencing, whatever disruptions I am seeing, in all circumstances I have to stick to Prabhupada, I have to stick to the association of devotees, and I have to continue. This is called cooperation, and this is very, very important. When I was about to be initiated, my interviewer, he asked me a question. A very interesting question. I'd like to present it to you, and I learned so much from that question that I asked that same question to every other interviewer I take. He said that suppose you are inspired by, let's say, a particular devotee in Krishna consciousness, and that devotee comes and tells you that there is a lot of politics and diplomacy happening in this sector or in this zone or in this temple or in this whatever. He says that, let's move out. We'll do the same thing. We'll chant 16 rounds. We'll follow 4 regulative principles. We'll do the same Guru Puja. Everything same. But just we'll not call ourselves ISKCON. We'll call ourselves, let's say, Hare Krishna movement, or we'll call ourselves, let's say, Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON, or some other name we will give. But we'll go outside ISKCON. Same things. 4 regulative principles, books of Srila Prabhupada, 4:30 am Mangalarti, everything. He asked me, if that person who brought you in Krishna consciousness proposes this to you, will you go? I thought for some time and I said, no, I will not go. And the next question was, why will you not go? Of course, I could not answer the question properly, so he explained to me that just like an animal or a dog or a cow, when they are purchased by an owner, for their entire maintenance they are exclusively dependent on the owner. Similarly, the day since you have accepted Srila Prabhupada as your preeminent Shiksha Guru, you have become a dog of Prabhupada. You have no independence. You have to serve ISKCON because that is what Prabhupada wants. He said, ISKCON is my body. And when devotees leave ISKCON, do you think Prabhupada will be smiling like that? And there he revealed to me that the person who brought him to ISKCON had left ISKCON and gone to some other place. But he didn't go. So that is the meaning of cooperation. Give up your personal ambitions. Give up the desire for name and fame. Give up the difference of opinions with a desire to please Prabhupada and Krishna and serve together. That is cooperation. Another important aspect which we have to discuss is visiting holy places, dhams, and the etiquette which we have in the dham. One of the most important etiquette is one should never go to dham alone. Especially in the initial stages of our Krishna consciousness. Nobody should be alone at any point of time. Only personalities like Haridas Thakur can stay alone. Imagine if we go to a jungle where there is no one to watch us and we have made a nice cottage. Ventilation is there. One tulsi plant we have kept and we are chanting and we are feeling tired. What we will do? So jao. Anyways, as greenery is all around, ventilation is there, mode of goodness is there. Anyways, no one is watching. So jao. And imagine if in that circumstance a prostitute comes. Because in case of Haridas Thakur, one prostitute came, right? All of you know that pastime. What did Haridas Thakur do? He continued his japa. What we should do? We should run away from that place. Because Haridas Thakur is capable of delivering people by his japa. We are not capable as of now delivering our own mind by the process of our japa. We are trying for it. Manastrayate iti mantra. By chanting this mantra, we are trying to put the instructions of Guru between our mind and ourself. So therefore, for a struggling sadhaka, in fact, let me rephrase myself. For a sadhaka who has not yet attained Krishna Prema, even if the sadhaka is at the level of bhava, like Bharat Maharaj, he should not stay alone. In the purport where Bharat got distracted and started not being serious towards the morning program and sadhana, Prabhupada writes that Bharata had not consulted his spiritual master before going there. His spiritual master would have never ordered him to stay in seclusion, analyzing that he has not attained prema. So anybody who has not yet attained love of God should not stay alone. And you know what? What is the nature of people who have attained love of God? They like to stay with devotees. So in all circumstances, one should never be alone. What to speak of going to Dham alone? So therefore, one should always travel together and one should plan it very nicely. You know, sometimes when people go to Dham, they have anxieties. Office mein kya ho raha hai? Ghar mein kya ho raha hai? One should plan their Dham visits in such a way that when they go to the Dham, they should be exclusively submerged in Krishna consciousness. Good planning is needed. You cannot carry your baggage in Dham. Some people, even after going to Dham, we sympathize with them, but we want to make this point that this is not correct. Some people, even after going to Dham, they take meetings. Office meetings, this meeting, that meeting. No, you have to plan yourself. Anyways, when you are there in your karma bhumi, you are giving all your time. Manasa deho geho je kichu more arpilu tua pade Google, Yahoo, Kishore. I don't know, whatever. At least in Dham, I am going to have an opportunity where I engage 24/7 in Krishna consciousness. So I should plan it nicely. I should not have any professional anxiety. I should not have any domestic anxiety. I should plan it nicely. Of course, in Dham, there is no scope of prajalpa or frivolous behavior. Prajalpa means I am not eager to discuss Krishna Katha. I am discussing the Mahaprasad Rasgulla which I just ate. Now someone can argue, Prabhu, I am discussing about things related to Krishna. But if you are doing it in a Krishna conscious way, it is good. But if you are doing it in a way that, wow, that pav bhaji which was served in the breakfast today with that oregano spices from Thailand, it's the best, man. After eating it, I could chant Hare Krishna nicely. If I could get another round in the lunch, I will see the spiritual reality of this dham. By this kind, always remember, even a Mahaprasad Rasgulla is sufficient to keep you back in this material world if you don't approach it in the right mood. Right mood means whenever I see something related to Krishna, I think of Krishna and I think how can I use it in the service of Krishna. That is the right mood. So there is no scope of frivolous behavior or prajalpa in dham. Now, sometimes it is seen that some devotees, they make groups and move along. In the dham, one should freely and lovingly associate with everybody. Sometimes some groupism comes. We are Bhakti Shastris. All you people who have not read Bhagavad Gita, thoda sa, please stay back. We are discussing Krishna Katha. You will not understand. Thoda udhar jao. Or we are the disciples of a particular spiritual master. हम लोग को साथ में रह के we have to discuss the glories of our spiritual master. You please little bit go there. Or we are the devotees of Kanamangala. we request the devotees of some other center to kindly stay away, because in the yatra we have our own group, and in that group we are relishing nectar. We don't want to share it with others. So this groupism will not work. In yatra, one should freely and lovingly associate with everybody. One should sit together and eat and have prasad like a family. Most important set of rules and regulation of or the dham etiquette is never make independent plans during a yatra. Sometimes when I'm given the seva to organize a yatra, many times requests comes. Especially when I went to Mayapur, I was getting this request. See, we are in Mayapur. Very close is this Kolkata, and this Victoria Memorial is there. Little bit can we. Sometimes in Vrindavan, Prabhuji, thoda Taj Mahal, we can see and come. It's okay, Prabhu. We don't want your guidance here. We have booked a car already. We are 10 of us. We will manage, Prabhu. No problem. We'll come back before this time. So yatra doesn't mean that you make your own plans. Yatra means I have surrendered to the plan of Krishna. Some servants of Krishna, they have devised a plan, let me follow. Let me see what Krishna has planned for me. Yatra or dham etiquette also includes that when you go for a yatra, there is no question of going for 1 day or 2 days. You should go from the beginning and you should stay till the end. How many of you have, okay, let me not ask this question, let me just present it plainly. Many of us before coming to Krishna consciousness have gone for movies and have gone to theaters also. How many of us planned that I'll join after interval and I will leave 15 minutes before the movie ends? Did we plan like that? We were like fully sincere, surrendered to the movie. We have to go before the movie starts. And we have to stay there until the end. Until they come and ask me to leave. That kind of sincerity is needed in dham yatras also. And we should cooperate with the devotees who are trying to organize it. If somebody has some complaints or suggestions, one should not publicly criticize. Kya hai ye? This is the way to organize it. This is the way to serve prasadam. Why can't you do this? Why? You have to find out the right person and give your grievances and speak like a Vaishnava. This is a test. At least can I control my provocations in the dham? Okay, outside the dham I am a Hiranyakashipu. Don't mind. No problem. At least in dham can I act like a friend of Prahlad Maharaj. I am getting provoked at everything which I am seeing in this yatra organization. At least for the next 2 days can I control. After next 2 days I will find this devotee and I will blast. No problem. But at least in the dham you should never blast. But at least in the dham try to control your mood. Always remember, mood swings, they happen due to lack of taste in bhakti. If I am experiencing too many mood swings, if I am experiencing too many provocations, if I am not being able to deal like a Vaishnava in my dealings all the time, every time, again and again, that means I have not yet reached the stage of Nishtha. There is no stability, there are mood swings, that is due to lack of taste. No ruchi is there. So we should blame ourselves. And the last and the most important etiquette is, it is important to go in the dham not in an enjoying spirit, but in the mood of service. Sometimes devotees behave very immaturely. Whenever we go for yatras, I had said that I needed a room with AC on the ground floor, with a king size bed, with a geyser. How did you allot me a room on the second floor? This is not done. I paid you. Did I pay you or not? I paid you, right? And I have sponsored 5,000 rupees extra for the cake of my birthday, which is tomorrow. Why are you not taking my request? This is not the way to behave in dham. Dham means tapasya. I have gone there in a mood to serve. The yatra organizers should seek or should try to increase the comfort of the devotees, but the devotees should try to see that it is okay even if I don't get any, even if they ask me to sleep in a dormitory, I should not say anything. This should be the mood. I have not come here to sit like this and get prasadam and get my room and get my everything. I have gone there to serve Baba. So that is dham. Just like there are 10 offenses against the holy name, there are 10 offenses against the dham also. Would you like to hear? Contempt and disrespectful towards the Guru, who is the revealer of the dham to his disciple. Second, to think that the dham is temporary. Third, to commit violence towards the other residents of the holy dham or to any pilgrims who come there, to think that they are ordinary mundane people. Sometimes some dogs will come, we will chase them in the dham. Especially we have a problem with the monkeys of Vrindavan. What do they think of themselves? I'm just chanting Hare Krishna. It's just that I'm not chanting attentively. And when some monkey comes and takes away my spectacles and my bead bag, I'm feeling angry. The Paramatma is there in the heart of the monkey also. And without the permission of the Paramatma, me, an inattentive chanter of the holy name, the monkey will not come and take away my bead bag. In fact, monkeys snatch the bead bags of only those people who are not doing attentive japa. And these monkeys, these dogs, even the pigs, they are not ordinary. They are ex-residents, ex-human residents of the dham. Due to some offenses, they have been put in a animal body, but after this animal body, they are going back home, back to Godhead. So best policy is to remain neutral towards them. If you can serve them. You can buy some things and serve them. Serve the cows, serve the monkeys, serve the whatever, all the animals which you see. If you can't do that, at least remain neutral. Don't think that you are more important than the dogs of the dham. And don't think that you are more important than the person who is driving the truck in the dham. No. Due to some reason, they are there in the dham. And they are able to stay in the dham. Many people think that just by buying an apartment in dham, I have become a resident of the dham. No. Your mind will not allow you to stay in the dham. You think staying in dham is easy, you go and stay there. 50,000 reasons your mind will give to take you outside the dham, to do something very important. It is not easy. So a person who has managed to stay in the dham throughout his or her life, even in an animal body, without committing offenses, deserves our respect. In fact, we are the ones, for people like us, Prabhupada has said, don't stay more than 3 days in the dham. Because then your vision towards the dham will become mundane and you will start committing offenses. Look at this truck driver having bath in Radhakund daily. What does he think of himself? You will start having such visions. So better to leave the dham after 3 days. Srila Prabhupada always wanted his devotees to go to the dham, recharge their spiritual batteries, and then go back to the areas where they are doing services, which could be anything, and continue. Dham is meant for, actually according to the guidance of Srila Prabhupada, dham is meant for renunciants to permanently stay there. Those who are in a renounced order. At least the Vanaprasthas. It is not meant for any other kind of life. Once, a couple of disciples, they approached Srila Prabhupada that we want to beget children, we need your permission. Prabhupada said, go out of the dham, unite, and then come back in the dham. Dham is not meant for uniting and producing children. The dham is a very serious place. So we have to engage in that mood. So therefore, performing mundane activities while living in a holy place is also an offense. Earning money by making a business of deity worship and chanting of the holy name is also an offense. To think that the holy dham belongs to some mundane country. Vrindavan is in Uttar Pradesh and I am from Uttar Pradesh. To think like that is an offense. To think that the dham is in some mundane country or in a province such as Bengal. Mahaprabhu is a Bengali, I am also Bengali, so I am very important. to have that kind of a thought process is an offense to the Lord and to the Dham. To think that the Dham of the Lord is equal to the holy place connected with some demigod is also an offense. To commit sinful activities while residing in the Dham is an offense. To consider Vrindavan different from Mayapur and to consider Navadvip different from Vrindavan is also an offense. To blaspheme the Shastras which glorify the Dham is also an offense. To be faithless and to think that the glories of Dham are just imaginary is also an offense. So this, till now we have covered the importance of loving exchanges between the devotees. The 5 kinds, yes? There are 2 cars who are not doing loving exchanges. 0357. 1628. Hare Krishna. So we saw how important it is to have loving exchanges between devotees. We saw that we are hopeless and helpless if we don't do that. We understood how loving exchanges should be done in a personal way if we want to go back home, back to Godhead. We also saw the importance of cooperation in the association of devotees. Despite differences of personal opinions, we should never let ego come between our relationships. That we understood. We understood that Dham is a very, very important place. We should remain in a Krishna conscious way in the Dham. We should consider even the dogs and the animals and the monkeys of the Dham as Dhamvasis. And the most precious gift which devotees can give each other is Krishna Katha. This is what we have understood till now. Before we conclude this discussion, let me just quickly add the angle of Jagannath Rath Yatra today, because today is Sri Jagannath Rath Yatra. How many of you were there at the beautiful nectarian discussion which His Holiness Bhakti Rasamrit Maharaj did yesterday with relation to Rath Yatra? Very nice. You people are very, very fortunate. Those who were not there, please consider how you cannot miss an opportunity next time when such an event happens. Shravanam and Kirtanam is very important. Those who are strong in their Shravanam and Kirtanam, they can have some hope to receive the mercy of devotees. Now, Shravanam and Kirtanam means attending of all festivals. Shravanam and Kirtanam means being very enthusiastic and responsible in your services. Shravanam and Kirtanam means having a strong morning program. Shravanam and Kirtanam means having nice tattva, philosophical discussions amongst each other. Shravanam and Kirtanam means being eager to help each other in Krishna consciousness. Everything is a part of Shravanam and Kirtanam. And of course, Shravanam and Kirtanam is also a part of Shravanam and Kirtanam. So, this is the pastime. Rath Yatra is a very, very, Maharaj was explaining yesterday the esoteric meaning of the pastime of Rath Yatra. I simply want to repeat what he said. How many of you know the katha or the wonderful pastime or the story behind Krishna, Baldev, Balram and Subhadra appearing in this form, where they have no legs and their hands are, absorbed in their bodies, and they have big eyes without eyelids, and at least Jagannath has little nose. And how do you think they have assumed this kind of a form? Do you know the katha? How many of you know the katha behind this? Okay, very few. So, do you want to know? Should I recite it to you? So this is the most ecstatic form of Lord Krishna. This is mentioned in Brihad Bhagavatamrit, authored by Sri Sanatan Goswami Prabhupada. Krishna is always, all the time feeling separation from Brajvasis, from Nand Baba, Mother Yashoda, Srimati Radharani, the gopis, the friends, etc., the cows, the monkeys. He's always feeling separation. And it is said that the separation which he is feeling is indescribable. It cannot be described in words. When he heard that Baladev was going to Vrindavan, he wanted to communicate few things to the gopis. But he didn't know how to do it. So he started crying and he looked towards Uddhava. And Uddhava, being the perfect servant, the perfect friend of Krishna, understood what Krishna wants. And then he told Balram that you should go there and you should please spend some time with the gopis. You should pacify them. You should please spend some time with Nand Baba, Mother Yashoda. That is the kind of separation he feels. One day, it is around 9:30 a.m. in the morning, and Krishna has not yet waken up from his bed. This is something abnormal. The Krishna or the Bhagavatam says, the Krishna book says, that before the Brahma Muhurta starts, Krishna is awake. The first time when the rooster speaks or makes a sound, Krishna wakes up. And to set a good example, he starts doing spiritual activities. So in Dwapar Yuga at that time, Krishna was engaging in meditation. Now whom was Krishna meditating on? He was meditating on himself only. Because, but we should not meditate on ourselves, we should meditate on Krishna. So Krishna is setting an example. And then after that he used to, take darshan of the cows, donate some cows, go and meet his parents and do the 5 yagyas, and then so many activities throughout the day. Set up a good example. But today is 9:30 and Krishna has not woken up from his bed. And he is sleeping in such a way that he has pulled his blanket on his face and he is continuing to sleep. People are discussing what is happening. Everybody is waiting at the Sudharma assembly hall. Why is Krishna not coming? And Balram became very concerned and he walked into the room. And all the 16,108 queens of Krishna are also disturbed. This is the time when Krishna was not, after a certain time in married life, Krishna gave up the association of his wives and he started living in an exclusive palace which was made exclusively for him. There were 16,108 palaces, earlier he used to stay there, but when he was approaching the Vanaprastha's time, he gave up the association of his wives and he used to live in his palace. So there all the queens also used to come to meet him. And Balram was also there, Uddhava was also there. So they saw that he is sleeping till 9:30. And when Balram pulls the blanket from the face of Krishna, he sees that Krishna is crying. And then different kinds of commentaries, family drama starts. Now somebody is saying he is crying because of this reason. Somebody is saying he is crying because of that reason. The mother of Kamsa says he is crying because he is remembering Vrindavan. In Vrindavan, they never gave him a pair of shoes also. They made him herd the cows whole day. And even in the night, they used to not feed him properly. And now that Krishna has left Vrindavan, all the cows are dying, all the trees are dying. And they know that they can't take care of him they can't take care of Vrindavan without Krishna. So they want him back. And Krishna doesn't want to go. That's why he's crying. This kind of commentary is there. And Krishna is silently hearing all this. At that time, Rukmini intervenes and he says, no, this is not the reason. The reason why he is crying is because he is missing Vrindavan very badly. Although we are his queens, but we are just queens in namesake. And then Rukmini starts saying that, sometimes in the night, in the bed while sleeping, Krishna comes into the threefold bended form. And he starts calling out the names of his friends. Sometimes he calls out the names of his friends like Subal, Madhumangal, Sridham. Sometimes he calls out the names of his cows. Sometimes he holds my hand and looking at me he says, my dear Lalita, my dear Vishakha, my dear Radharani. And then he talks to us like that. Sometimes in the middle of the night he gets up and he goes in a corner and he starts crying. He's doing this because he wants to go back to Vrindavan. So all the other queens of Krishna, they become very curious. They want to know the pastimes of their beloved husband in Vrindavan. When they saw Krishna in this stage, they became very, very curious. What is there in Vrindavan? Uddhava was sent to Vrindavan, and since he has come back, he keeps glorifying the Vrajvasis like anything. But he does not glorify Krishna. What did Krishna do in Vrindavan? We want to know. So that day, after some amount of the pastime continues, but then fast forwarding to the next day, Krishna and Balram have gone to the Sudharma assembly hall for some meetings. And these queens, out of curiosity, they have approached the mother of Balram, Rohini, because she is the only resident of Dwarka who had seen the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. And they approach her and they say, please tell us the pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. So Mother Rohini said, I can tell you, but make sure Krishna and Balram are not here, because if they are here, there will be problems. So they put Subhadra on the door to guard the door, that you please guard the door, and when Krishna and Balram are coming, you please give us a signal, we will stop. And then she started narrating the wonderful pastimes of Krishna in Vrindavan. Now these pastimes are so nectarian that even Krishna feels attracted to hear the pastimes of Vrindavan. Krishna and Balram were sitting in the Sudharma assembly hall, but they came to know that this Zoom meeting is going on, where the Vrindavan pastimes are being discussed. So they both the brothers, they hurriedly left the Sudharma assembly hall. They came running towards the room where this discussion was happening. And Subhadra was standing, and she was completely mesmerized and absorbed in these pastimes. She had lost her external consciousness, just like Parikshit Maharaj lost his external consciousness in the last 7 days of his life. No thirst, no hunger, no sleep. He was just continuing to hear. So like that, Subhadra was hearing. She did not realize that Krishna and Balram have come. So Krishna came and he stood on the left hand side of Subhadra, and Balram came and he stood on the right hand side of Subhadra. And when all three of them, they started hearing the pastimes in Vrindavan, they became so ecstatic, they became so, what can I say? There is no word. They were in so much ecstasy that their hands started going within their body, their legs collapsed, their faces swelled up, and that is the form, that is the moment, that is the time when Krishna, Subhadra Maharani and Baldev, they displayed this form. And that is how Jagannath's form is known in our history to us. So when Krishna and Balram and Subhadra are in ecstasy and they are in the bliss of separation from Vrajvasis, that is the form of Jagannath. Jagannath is Krishna in separation from Srimati Radharani, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Baba, his cows, and everybody else in Vrindavan. That is the form of Jagannath. This is the same Jagannath who is speaking Bhagavad Gita. This is the same Jagannath who is going as a peace messenger in Kurukshetra. This is the same Jagannath who is doing so many pastimes, killing so many demons. But this is his inner heart. This is his inner mood. That is Jagannath. That's how this deity is. And Narad Muni has seen it. When this form was displayed, Narad Muni saw it and he said, I have seen it, I have seen it. Now I have a request, my dear Lord. You please do some leela, do some pastime, so that the whole world sees your most ecstatic, most beloved form. So at that time, Jagannath gave a benediction, Tathastu. Now everybody will see my form. Now the whole world sees. They mount the chariot in this form. Now, this is the history of the Jagannath deities. But whom does Jagannath come to see? Jagannath comes to seize the Brajvasis. The Jagannath comes to seize Srimati Radharani. So that is the meeting at Kurukshetra. At Kurukshetra, during the solar eclipse time, all the residents of Dwarka have gone there. The residents of Hastinapur have gone there. And when the people of Vrindavan come to know that everybody is coming, 1 month before Krishna came, they came and they made their camp there. But they are very sad to see Krishna dressed up like a prince. The Shringar which Krishna used to do in Dwarka is a different kind of Shringar. And the Shringar which Krishna did in Vrindavan is a different kind of Shringar. And he's surrounded by so many diplomats, he's carrying so many weapons, he's wearing that armor, he's following the diplomatic Kshatriya codes, rules, regulations, conduct. He's not behaving as freely as he used to behave in Vrindavan, holding the hand of a gopi, slapping his friends, jumping on their shoulders. He's not behaving like that. So they were very much perturbed. They were not used to seeing Krishna in that form. So Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also Krishna, but he has assumed the mood of Srimati Radharani. And he is expressing his desires on behalf of Srimati Radharani, experiencing that mood. So as Maharaj explained yesterday, Jagannath is Krishna in separation from Srimati Radharani, and Mahaprabhu is Krishna in separation from Krishna. These two most astonishing forms of the Lord are doing a Leela, and that is called Rath Yatra. In Kurukshetra, when Radharani and the other gopis, when they are standing in front of Krishna, they are saying the follows. And Radharani never speaks for herself. She speaks on behalf of the Vrajvasis. She said, why is it that you are simply... You are the same Krishna and I am the same Radharani. We are meeting again the same way as we met in the beginning of our lives. Although we are both the same, my mind is still attracted to Vrindavan Dham. I wish that you please again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. Now, why do you think Radharani is speaking like this? Because she likes Vrindavan. Of course she likes Vrindavan. But Radharani makes desires only to please Krishna. She knows in her heart that Krishna wants to go to Vrindavan. That is why she is making this request to Krishna. Radharani can never come up with her own desires in front of Krishna. Even the innermost desires of Radharani are actually the desires of Krishna. This understanding you should have. And when you understand this, then we will understand the last shloka of Shikshashtakam. Aslishyasya vapadaratam pinastumam adarshanan marmahatam karotu. O my dear Lord, whether you make me ecstatic by being present before me and embracing me, or you make me broken-hearted by not being present before me, in all circumstances you are my unconditional worshipful master eternally. That is the mood of Radharani. So on behalf of Vrajvasis, understanding the mood of Krishna, she is saying that I wish that you again appear with your lotus feet in Vrindavan. Kurukshetra is crowded with people, elephants, horses, and the rattling sound of chariots. In Vrindavan, however, there are flower gardens where there are humming bees and chirping of birds that can be heard. Here at Kurukshetra, you are dressed up like a royal prince, accompanied by great warriors. But in Vrindavan, you appeared just like an ordinary cowherd boy, accompanied by your own beautiful flute. Here, there is not even a drop of ocean of transcendental happiness that I enjoyed with you in Vrindavan. I therefore request you to come to Vrindavan and enjoy the pastimes. If you do so, my ambition will be fulfilled. Although Radharani is presenting it as an ambition, but she knows that this is the desire of Krishna. She is presenting Krishna's desire to Krishna by telling that this is my ambition. That is the devotion of Srimati Radharani. Radharani continued to say, why is it that you are simply keeping the Vrajvasis alive in a state of suffering? The inhabitants of Vrindavan do not want to see you dressed like a prince, nor do they want you to associate with great warriors in a different country. They cannot leave the land of Vrindavan, and without your presence they are all dying. What is their condition to be? So she is speaking on behalf of Vrindavan, Vrajvasis. And hearing all this, Krishna says, my dearest Radharani, please hear from me. I am speaking the truth. Satyam Satyam Vadamyaham. I cry day and night simply remembering all of you, the inhabitants of Vrindavan. No one knows how unhappy my absence in Vrindavan makes me. All the inhabitants of Vrindavan Dham, my mother, my father, my cowherd boyfriends, and everyone else are like my life and soul. I am always subservient to you, my dear Srimati Radharani. My separation from you and resident in distant places have occurred due to my strong misfortune. So at that time, understanding the mood of Krishna, all the gopis, they are pulling the chariot of Krishna, on which Krishna, Balram and Subhadra are sitting, and they pull her, that now you don't go back. That time, a very kind person, a very less cruel person by the name Akrura came and took you away. This time we will not let that happen. You please come back. And they start pulling Krishna, with the horses are not attached to the chariot, they are pulling the chariot, that you come back to Vrindavan. That is the mood which Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is displaying in front of Jagannath. After some days, when we are standing in front of Ratha, we should understand that Jagannath wants to go to Vrindavan. And we are servants of Srimati Radharani. We are servants of Vrajvasis. We are meant to pacify the Vrajvasis, and we are meant to go and tell Krishna as the Hamsadutas that please come back to Vrindavan. And in a sense, what is Vrindavan? Vrindavan is our heart. Vrindavan is not a place, Vrindavan is our heart. If we want to bring Krishna in our heart, and we want to pacify the Vrajvasis by helping them to meet Krishna, this is the mood of Rath Yatra. So this is the secret behind Lord Chaitanya's dancing. Lord Chaitanya organized everything in full detail. He made 7 Sankirtan parties. He said, you will play Mridanga in this party, you will play Kartal in this party, you will be the singer here, you will be the dancer here. He organized everything because love lies in attention to the details. Similarly, when we do our seva for Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or for Jagannath, we should pay a lot of attention to the details. We should not do it in a slipshod manner. We should do it in a responsible and an accountable way. If we don't take responsibility and accountability in the Sankirtan movement, then there is no hope that we will be able to pull the Ratha the way the Vrajvasis were pulling. The word Jagannath is also uttered by Mayavadis. It means Jagannath, the Ishvara, the maintainer of the whole universe, as if it is some secondary name of Krishna. But for Gaudiya Vaishnavas, for followers of Srila Prabhupada, Jagannath is a primary name, it is a personal name. Jagannath means son of Mother Yashoda. Jagannath means the Lord of Srimati Radharani. Jagannath means Shyama Sundar Giridhari. So if we want to have that kind of consciousness, we should pay a lot of attention to the details of the services which are allocated to us in Rath Yatra, the way Lord Chaitanya was paying attention to the details. He was feeling so much, he was experiencing Radha Bhav, he was experiencing the mood of Srimati Radharani. But that mood means paying attention to the details of our services. We cannot say that I am an ecstatic devotee of Krishna, but I don't care to serve. I will see when is the prasadam serving time in Rath Yatra and I will just reach the final spot. No. And then Lord Chaitanya is dancing in front of Jagannath. He's seeing how much Jagannath is missing the Vrajvasis. So when we pull the Ratha, we have to be the representatives of the Vrajvasis. Sometimes Lord Chaitanya used to go back the Ratha, behind the Ratha, to see if Jagannath is actually missing. Jagannath is surrounded, Krishna is surrounded by so many queens, so many kings, so many diplomats, so many devatas. Does he miss the Vrajvasis? And as soon as Mahaprabhu used to go behind the Ratha used to stop. Jagannath used to say, where is Mahaprabhu? Where is Radharani? So this Mahaprabhu is doing this Leela to check whether Krishna is missing Vrindavan or not, and Krishna is stopping the Ratha to prove that yes, I am missing Vrindavan. This is the pastime of Rath Yatra. So therefore, for the first time when Rath Yatra was done, they had borrowed a truck from the hippies. After every 100 meters or 200 meters or so, the Ratha used to stop. So they went and they told Prabhupada, everything went well, but unfortunately sometimes or quite often the Ratha was stopping. We didn't know why is it stopping. Maybe the cart was not good. Prabhupada said that is bona fide. If that has happened, that means Jagannath was happy, because Jagannath likes to stop and wants to see his devotees, wants to see the Vrajvasis, and therefore he keeps stopping and stopping. If it had not stopped, it would have gone without stopping. That is a problem. It's a bona fide thing that the Ratha keeps stopping, because Jagannath wants to see the Vrajvasis. So Mahaprabhu was doing this pastime and Jagannath was stopping as a reciprocation. And this is the meaning of Vrindavan Bhav in Rath Yatra. Srila Prabhupada very nicely summarizes the prayer of Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which he was making to Jagannath. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, experiencing the mood of Srimati Radharani, was praying as follows. For most people, the mind and heart are one. But because my mind is never separated from Vrindavan, I consider my mind and Vrindavan to be one. My mind is already Vrindavan, and since you, my dear Jagannath, are like Vrindavan, will you please place your lotus feet in my mind? I would deem that as your full mercy upon me. That's why we sing Jagannath Sami Nayana Pathagami Bhavatume. So pulling the Lord seated on a Ratha is like pulling Krishna in the core of our heart. It is the pull of surrender. We are not trying to control Jagannath by pulling him. We are pulling the Ratha as a mood or as an act of surrendering towards Krishna. So that is the mood of Rath Yatra, which we are celebrating next week. With that, I would like to conclude today's discussion. Just to summarize, we discussed the importance of loving exchanges between devotees. How to do those loving exchanges, we summarized. We also discussed the importance of cooperation amongst devotees. The Dham etiquette, the mood in the Dham apradhs were discussed. And then we understood the mood behind the Rath Yatra. We saw how this form of Jagannath came into existence in its first place. We saw what was the mood of the Vrajvasis when they came to Kurukshetra. And that single moment of reciprocation between Krishna and the Vrajvasis is celebrated universally as Ratha Yatra Mahamahotsav. Please understand the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. The most intimate exchange between Krishna and the Vrajvasis, which was happening in Kurukshetra, by the mercy of Narad Muni and Srila Prabhupada, it is now universally accessible to everybody. Anybody and everyone can see God in his most ecstatic rasa, having the most ecstatic madhurya exchanges with his most ecstatic devotees. This is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. It is Srila Prabhupada who brought Rath Yatra to the whole world. Indeed speaking, it is Srila Prabhupada who made Jagannath actually Jagannath. For a long time, Jagannath was Puri Nath, Odia Nath. But now Jagannath is San Francisco Nath, Pariseshwar Nath, Whitefield Nath, Kanamangla Nath, Jagannath. It is the mercy of Prabhupada that by Jagannath's inspiration, he took Jagannath everywhere in this planet. So we are very, very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for his purports. He has revealed the Mahabhav of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to us, and he has taught us how to participate in this Rath Yatra. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. We will now